Welcome to the Week 1 web conference. My name is Carrie Calloway and I will be your facilitator for this web conference. So let's get started. You will need to run an audio and video setup for each session. Blackboard Ultra does not remember audio video settings, so you will need to complete the setup each time that you log in. You'll want to follow the steps here listed on the screen. You'll want to click on that purplish tab in the lower right hand corner to open the Collaborate panel. And then you'll want to click on the My Settings wheel that's also in the lower left hand corner. It looks like a wheel icon, and you'll want to then click on the link that says set up your camera and microphone, and once that opens you'll want to complete an audio test by clicking the down arrow to select your desired audio device. You'll want to try to verify that the audio levels are working by talking, and then if your audio level indicates that it's working properly, you'll want to click yes, it's working. Next, you'll want to do a video test, and so if you have a video device, you will click the down arrow to select your desired video device. You'll want to look at the video test, and if it's working and looks good, you'll want to click on yes, it's working. If you are kicked out of the session, you will need to select the keep the settings button when you re-enter the session. Then you'll want to set up the panel in Blackboard Ultra by expanding the attendee panel, which is in the lower left-hand corner and looks like a couple people icon. And you'll want to drag it to the left to expand the attendee panel. And then you'll want to click on the chat balloon in the lower left-hand corner to open and view the chat discussion. So let's go ahead and get ready to learn here. I'll have you put your phone on silent, put up a do not disturb sign on your door, and go ahead and shut your door. We also want to do a quality check to make sure Blackboard Ultra is recording and set up correctly. And so I'm going to do the first two here. I see that I've got a camera in the upper left-hand corner. It's black and red. And then I can see the words quality check at the top of the PowerPoint slides, and you should be able to see those also on your end. And then you'll want to also check and make sure that you can hear me adequately. And if you cannot hear me, you'll want to click on the My Settings tab to adjust your microphone volume. So these are the learning objectives for this web conference, and they are all from the textbook, Chapter 1, from Thinking Collaboratively, Learning in a Community of Inquiry. The first objective here is after this web conference, students will be able to explain collaborative thinking. The next one is after the web conference, students will be able to evaluate the use of technology and determine if it supports and enhances collaborative thinking. And the final objective is that after the web conference, students will be able to identify the core elements of the community of engagement framework. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do an icebreaker. So for this icebreaker, the question is, what does thinking collaboratively mean to you? And what does it mean to your peers? And so let's find out. So what I'm going to have you do is pause the recording and spend 5 minutes writing a discussion post in the learning management system about what thinking collaboratively means to you. And then you'll want to spend another 5 minutes in the learning management system reading and responding to the discussion posts of at least 2 of your peers. So welcome back from the icebreaker. So let's start looking at thinking collaboratively. So thinking collaboratively is really about the shared experience of thinking and the benefits of shared debate and personal reflection. So it's a process of learning that results in a mutual understanding and also personal meaning. And so this photo here, I really thought worked well to show what thinking collaboratively means. So if you look at the light bulbs that are above the individuals' heads in this photo, you'll see that each light bulb reflects a different section of the bulb above each individual's head. So each one of these individuals has their own what they're contributing, their own thinking that they're contributing, and then that is coming together to form this innovative idea. And so let's do now a reflection activity. So with this reflection activity, what I'll have you do is I'll have you pause the recording and then just reflect on the previous explanation of thinking collaboratively, and then come up with at least 2 examples of thinking collaboratively. So welcome back from the reflection activity. So let's look at the collaborative approach. So the work done at places like Google, Facebook, and also places like Mayo Clinic, and as well as university laboratories and the research done at universities, these are all really good examples of how well the collaborative approach to thinking really works. And people of various disciplines and that have different expertise, in these examples, they're working together to come up with new innovative ideas and solutions. And so basically, it's not about just one individual coming up with these great ideas, but it's about a group working together and thinking collaboratively to come up with creative new ideas. And the next thing we're going to talk about here is technology. So today, technology, it plays a big role in how we think collaboratively. And the goal of technology really is to assist in collaborative thinking. The main thing you want to think about technology is that it should be assisting instead of hindering the collaborative thinking. So in this picture here, I thought that it really showed what technology does with thinking collaboratively. So let me get the shapes here. So on this side, we've got a group of individuals working in Detroit on a smart board. And then on this side, we have a group of individuals in Berlin also working on a smart board. And then you can see that in the center here, this smartboard is showing you that they are simultaneously working on the same project, and this allows them to work together and think collaboratively on a global scale with individuals that are in 2 totally different parts of the world. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to watch a video. So I'm going to have you open the chat box, and I'm going to send you a link in the chat box that you can use to access this short video on the community of inquiry. And then what I want you to do is go ahead and pause the recording here and watch the video, and then after you've watched the video, we'll come back and we'll dive into this further. So welcome back from watching the Community of Inquiry video. Now we're going to do an evaluation activity. So with this activity, what I want you to do is I want you to keep in mind the information that we've talked about so far about thinking collaboratively, technology, and the community of inquiry from the information from the video. So in this photo here, I want you to take a look and think about this question. Is the technology in this image, is it supporting and enhancing collaborative thinking? So we've got a lot of technology going on here in the image. We have those screens that I just put the squares around, and then we have on the tables here, we have computers. Some of them appear to be the students' computers. Some of them appear to be the computers that came with the that are stationary at the table. And then we also have a computer up here on the podium of the instructor. So what I want you to do is to pause the recording for 5 minutes to review the image and evaluate these items that I've selected here. And then take 5 more minutes to record your answers as far to the question as far as if this technology is supporting and enhancing collaborative thinking. And then go ahead and record those answers in your missed class summary and then come back. So welcome back from the evaluating activity. So now we're going to talk a little bit about how thinking collaboratively applies to the field of higher education. So you can definitely categorize universities, I would say, as a learning community, and that really fosters thinking collaboratively from things like research that are done by students, research that's done by faculty members, and the work that faculty and students do in the face-to-face classrooms, such as the scale-up classrooms with all those technology and group work, as well as many online courses that are designed to be interactive. They all really focus on collaborative thinking. So now we're going to look at the technology in the classroom as it applies to your field of higher education. So today in higher education, as a field, it really focuses on and relies on technology to enhance collaborative thinking in the classroom, whether it's face-to-face or online. And that's something that higher education is constantly evaluating and improving. And so in this photo here, as you can see, this is another scale-up classroom. And then in this classroom, they also have microphones on the tables. Then there are computers as well on the tables. And we have a podium over here for the instructor with a computer, and it might possibly have a microphone as well. And then we have screens of various sizes that are located throughout the classroom. And also, as you can see, a lot of the layout and the furniture is also contributing here. Like these round tables are used to get students together as groups. And the whole design of this room is to really enhance collaborative thinking. And so not only does this apply to the face-to-face classrooms, but also Blackboard Ultra that we're using right now is really technology used in higher education. This type of technology enhances the online experience for thinking collaboratively. Now let's look at the community of inquiry from the video that you watched and how that relates to the field of higher education. So community of inquiry is really what higher education is about. So thinking collaboratively, it really works best in a learning community, and that's really what universities and higher education is essentially. And so it follows the community of inquiry framework. And universities are an excellent example of these learning communities. And the universities and higher education really embody the 3 elements of the community of inquiry framework. And they're utilized in face-to-face classes and in those online interactive courses. And so now let's do a polling activity. So unfortunately, the polling box doesn't come up in the recording, but I'm just going to have you look at the question and the polling answers here on the slide. So the question is, how many core elements from the community of inquiry framework are present in higher education? So the polling choice answers here are A, B, C, or D, and then I want you to pause the recording for 5 minutes to record your answer as to which choice you choose there, and then explain why, and record that in your missed class summary. So welcome back from the polling activity. So I just want to summarize here what we've learned today. So in summary, thinking collaboratively, it's really about the joint effort. So thinking isn't just necessarily an individual endeavor. You're really influenced by those around you and their thoughts and ideas. So that's what collaborative thinking is all about, and that really leads to that higher level thinking and creative innovation, and it's an essential part of learning and of higher education. And technology and learning communities and the community of inquiry framework really contribute to that, to fostering thinking collaboratively. So of course you can have technology that doesn't support collaborative thinking, and in that case it would be something you would need to think about switching to something that would enhance the experience. But regardless, thinking collaboratively really has benefits, and we've seen that in the work that has come out of groups such as Google, Facebook. So really, collaborative thinking is very beneficial, and really where it's at. So we want to finish up here with a quiz to assess your understanding of the material from this web conference. So I want you to go to the Learning Management System and take the Week 1 quiz. So the quiz consists of 10 questions. You need a score of at least 80% to pass the quiz, and you will have 30 minutes to take the quiz. You must have the quiz taken by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Because it'll disappear after that. So basically that's it for today's class. I just want to remind you to submit a missed class summary and to submit those discussion posts. If you have any questions, you can list them in your missed class summary, or if they're urgent, please send me an email. So just want to thank you for watching and remind you that your next web conference will be on Saturday, February 2nd from 4 to 6 p.m. The next 2 web conferences will be held live. So if you're not able to attend, remember to submit a missed class summary. And here's your references about the book and that was used in thinking collaboratively in a learning in a community of inquiry. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.